This can cause a loss of gloss or, in extreme cases, grey patches or stripes. Cooling patches are dull patches which can occur in those places where the chocolate is last in contact with the mold. This can be caused by large, smooth surfaces. So to avoid cooling patches, it is better to use a mold with many irregularities. It can also be caused by molds which have not been sufficiently pre-warmed, resulting in shock cooling of the chocolate. Too rapid cooling or shock cooling, for example by placing the chocolate in an extremely cold refrigerator, also has a very adverse effect. This sudden cooling can give rise to unstable crystals, which will result in chocolate which has been poorly crystallized. An ideal cooling time for enrobed products is a minimum of 6 minutes, with the following temperature profile. At the entrance to the cooling tunnel, 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit. At the middle of the cooling tunnel, about 14 degrees Celsius or 57 degrees Fahrenheit. And at the end of the cooling tunnel, a temperature rise again to about 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit. This last temperature increase is particularly important to avoid condensation. With molded chocolate, the rule of thumb is that the thicker the layer of chocolate in the mold, the faster the heat must be dissipated to ensure good crystallization. To maintain the properties of chocolate products at an optimum level, care must be taken with the storage conditions. Chocolate's 4 great enemies are moisture, external odors, light and air, temperature fluctuations. Avoid condensation on chocolate. This is caused by the chocolate having too low a temperature at the end of the cooling line, or by, for example, taking cold chocolates out of the refrigerator and bringing them into an area at normal room temperature or a warmer temperature. This results in sugar being dissolved in the condensate, after which it crystallizes out again. The results are stains and sugar bloom. In extreme cases, mold can occur, for example, when humid products are packed. Chocolate is very sensitive to external odors. For this reason, you should never store or transport chocolate together with strong-smelling products. The packaging, too, should not impart any flavor to the chocolate. Chocolate oxidizes quickly if exposed to light and air, and then deteriorates in taste. White chocolate in particular is very sensitive to this. It is therefore best to store the chocolate in closed packaging, protected from air and light. Temperature fluctuations accelerate the occurrence of fat bloom when the chocolate becomes gray, particularly with dark chocolate. This phenomenon produces a thin layer of fat crystals on the surface of the chocolate. This causes the chocolate to lose its gloss, and a soft white layer can occur, which gives the finished product an unappetizing look. However, this phenomenon should not be confused with the formation of mold. Fat bloom is caused by the recrystallization of fats and/or migration of a filling fat to the chocolate layer. Storage at a constant temperature of 18 to 20 degrees Celsius or 64 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit will delay the appearance of fat bloom. So there's a feast of tips for proper tempering, cooling and storage of chocolate. If these rules are correctly followed, you'll find that your customers always come back for more.